pancakes.
Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome to Waxing Pixels, the podcast of Battle Geek Plus, the Battle Geek Plus podcast, where we wax the pixels. We don't whack pickles, we wax pixels here on Waxing Pixels. And with me, my name is Josh, by the way. With me, I have Heather.
Hi.
Ryan.
Hey.
And Final Frankacy.
Transform and roll out.
I should have called him Frank Former.
Frank Former.
Frank Former.
Or maybe Frank's Franker.
It's Franker? I don't know. I think Frank Former sounds like it flows better. And he is in the form of a Frank. And he was crab walking earlier. He did transform and roll out.
You were crab walking too, like some weirdo.
I didn't say
I was
wasn't
imitating
crab
him.
walking.
No, he was a crab walker. That's why I transformed into a crab walker.
Like Blade is the day walker, I'm the crab walker. There's like the crab walker and like the day walker and the dog whisperer and cat guy. And
Cat guy?
Yeah,
guy.
the dog whisperer cat guy.
Yes. His name is.
Caesar?
No,
No,
the cat guy.
That's the dog whisperer. The cat whisperer person is his last name's Galaxy.
Yeah, but I mean like Jackson Galaxy.
Jackson's Galaxy. That's
right?
his name.
No, but I thought like he had like a title or something.
That can't be a real last name, can it?
Yes, it is a real last name.
And
Just like Colada's a real last name, Frank.
Franca Colada. We still haven't made those at home. Anyway, so how you guys doing?
I almost had the potential to get shot yesterday at work.
Yay!
Awesome. Getting shot. Did you manage to scathe by like barely by like some quick time events? Like what happened?
How many times I gotta tell you, cops are real people too.
Okay, so for those who don't know, I work for an insurance company, and our claims department, usually when they have to hound people for money, those people can get pretty hostile and make threats to the company. And about a decade ago, one guy actually was in the parking lot at my company's old location with a gun, but the police caught him. So yesterday, the claims department got a threat, and then so we called the cops, and my whole office building was completely surrounded, and like we were in lockdown. But luckily, the cops, a couple of minutes later, told us, hey, we caught the guy in a town about 40 minutes away, so we were safe.
Yay! That sounds like fun. Who knew that working for an insurance company could be so exciting?
Yes.
Right?
You might get shot.
Yay!
Let's see.
And then make a club and have people fight in it.
And what actually sucks too is I work kind of near the front door, so once they take out the receptionist, I'm the next one to go.
Oh, well, that sucks.
I'm guessing that's going to be a very good excuse to practice your ninja skills.
That, or you could put up a sign like hanging up over the top of your cubicle that just says like "I'm not the claims department" or like "claims department this way" with like an arrow.
Actually, it's kind of funny. The claims department is like in the back of the building, so they probably had to take out my department first.
Well, I mean, they can just like run
Hey,
past
sometimes.
you. Is what I'm saying.
Well, oh no, they wouldn't do that. No. What they would do is they would mow through each department until they found the right department, and then they would somehow fuck it up.
Well, let's just say if things went, quote, 2016 yesterday, with what this year's been so far, this podcast, it would have been the Ryan Molina Memorial Podcast.
I'm fairly certain that if you were shot and you were dead, doing a podcast would be the last thing on our minds. Honestly.
Hey guys, remember to do the podcast on Tuesday, even though Ryan died.
You would be haunting us, be like, why didn't you do the podcast?
Your last words on your gravestone, don't forget the podcast.
Well, today I went with my neighbor and discovered a shopping/restaurant center area place, and it was like basically nothing but Asian food galore. And there was like a tofu house and like 6 pho places, and there's like several nice sit-down places, Chinese, Japanese. There was Thai and Vietnamese and Indonesian and, anything and everything in between. And so we went and we had sushi. It was fun times. And then we went and checked out a bakery that she hadn't been to yet. And it's a Japanese bakery. And of course, the Japanese really like their cakes and their sweets and making them adorable and amazing. So we were checking out some sweets, and they had like gigantic brioches like the size of your head. It was insane. And they had a bunch of different cakes, and I ended up getting Josh something called a chocolate pearl. and it's this little chocolate chiffon cake with chocolate mousse and then drizzled in chocolate, and it's adorable. And then I got one and they put it in like this adorable little folding box, and it was so cute, and I brought it home and I had tweeted it, and he couldn't wait to come home and to get it, and he came home and he got it out of the fridge.
And you didn't tell me what it was.
I didn't tell him what it was. All he knew was that there was something in the box, and the box was adorable, and whatever was in the box was delicious. And he came in, he grabbed the box, and he comes into the living room, and he's looking at the box, trying to figure out how to open it. He starts to tilt it on its side, which that would have basically ruined everything. And I was just like, oh my god, no, don't do that. So I ended up opening the box for him so he didn't destroy his little cake. And
it's a good thing I didn't like shake it or something. What's in here?
Oh my god, I would have cried. I would have like, no.
I probably would have too once I realized what I did.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But that's what I did today, and it was...
And it was delicious.
It was delicious. I'm not a huge chocolate fan like Josh is, but it was quite good. I am
huge, and I am a chocolate fan.
You are.
So, yeah. No adventures today. I worked, and then I streamed Rise of the Tomb Raider, but last week I decided to test out my friend's concrete patio with my head to see how hard it is.
Scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah. I stood up when I shouldn't have when we were going to leave, and I ended up like fainting, and I landed on my head, and yeah, that hurt.
That terrified me. I mean, you're fine, but
yeah, I'm fine.
It still scared the hell out of me. I mean, he didn't like drop and then like just smash his head. It was like he dropped, and our friend caught him as best he could and tried to lower him to the ground, and then Josh dead fished and bounced his forehead off of the concrete.
It was more like the side of my head.
Whatever. The point is that it was awful and terrible, and you had no idea it had happened.
And apparently made a noise.
It did, yeah. There was an audible sound that came from your head when you hit the concrete.
Yeah.
So, and then of course when I shook you awake, you had no idea where you were or what you were doing, and you tried to get up, and I was like, oh, no. So we ended up laying on you ended up laying on the concrete for a while with your head in my lap for a bit. But yeah, you were fine. It was still, and it was funny after we came home, and we made sure that you didn't have a concussion. Went to bed, and it was late. We were tired, and I didn't get very much sleep because I kept expecting to hear vomiting and convulsing while you were asleep or something. And I would do that thing that new parents do when you have a new baby. You constantly go in and make sure that the baby's breathing while they're asleep because you think the baby's dead. And I did the same thing. I would wake up at different intervals in the night, and I would put my hand on your chest to make sure you were breathing.
I do that to the cats. Like I'll watch them, and if I see them move, then cool, and if not, then like I put my hand, and it's like, okay, cool, the cats are alive. So I don't know why they would be dead, but like sometimes I just whatever. Anyway, we talk about video games on this podcast. I know. It seems kind of strange considering that, we haven't talked about video games yet, and we're already almost 10 minutes in. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Last week on the podcast, we basically talked about VR like almost the whole time. So I think we will go ahead and start off today with capping off kind of the VR discussion a little bit before PlayStation VR comes out. Or actually, by the time you hear this, PlayStation VR will be out. After that, we're going to be talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle. Then we're moving on to Twitch Prime. And then we have some Cuphead news that we're going to discuss. And then finally, a little bit more details surfaced on the NES Mini. So first off, VR, according to John Carmack, who is the Chief Technology Officer at Oculus and a former Doom programmer, is saying that VR is coasting on novelty so far in terms of the types of applications and games for it and stuff like that. Now, Ryan, I know you have been following VR pretty closely. You're grabbing the PlayStation VR.
Yeah. We're
going to be playing with it later this week. What do you think about that?
So from what I get from John Carmack, it seems he wants VR to be more than just turning your head and like things happen. Most mobile games, you just swipe your finger and that's how you play the game. He wants mobile VR to be more than just, turning your head and then you beat the game.
Okay,
I mean,
what do you, I'm confused. What does he mean? Like, so in terms of VR games for your phones, is that what he's talking about?
Yeah.
He seemed to also be talking about, like, at least PlayStation VR was brought up a little bit, but yeah, like mobile VR seems to be like, part of the focus of that, but like it just features need to be more than a novelty. Like things, like there needs to be some innovation involved to keep it around for more than a year, like to make it more than just like what 3D TV was or something like that. That's kind of
I see what you mean by that, because 3D TV was just a terrible idea to begin with, in my opinion. But then again, I'm also that person that's butthurt that I can't wear the 3D glasses over my own glasses because that's uncomfortable and it gives me a fucking headache. But
get LASIK.
Yeah, like we did.
I'm okay. I think I'm okay not having LASIK unless my eyes get like super bad.
Well, I can't afford the $5,000 per eye. So
yeah, but I mean, I can see VR becoming, falling into the realm of novelty if nothing really works with it, because the problem with 3D TV was that there were so many drawbacks to it. You either had to wear glasses or you had to sit in a very specific spot in front of the TV for it to have a proper working effect. So yeah, those are some big drawbacks. With VR, I don't know. I feel like if they're really able to do something like, I don't remember what the fuck it was called again. That stand that they had that one year at E3 with the Oculus, and you could run around and crouch and jump, and that platform with the harness and everything.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called either, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
remember
walk
that.
And you had the special shoes and all
right,
that stuff.
Yeah. Like, I feel like once something like that is readily available, and if people, and it's like easily, you can fold it up and put it away or something like that, until something like that is, available, then like easily available, and it's not going to cost like an arm and a fucking leg, then I don't think VR will be just a novelty, because you won't just have to just turn your head and then click a button. You would have to actively move. And also that might be good for the obesity problem in this country. I don't know.
I could see a bunch of VR arcades opening up if that's the case.
That would be really fucking cool.
yeah.
That would actually be cool, especially if like VR is one of those things where like how like arcade games were for the longest time, how they were always like 1, 2, or 3 steps ahead of what you were getting at home. Like you had 16-bit arcade and 32-bit arcade, and we had like 8-bit at home, and to get something like that would cost just tons and tons of money for the longest time. And once the Super Nintendo came out, like arcades kept getting better with like 3D modeling and stuff like that. And if we could get out of VR something that maybe isn't quite ready for home consumption yet, but would still draw people out to use it and stuff like that, maybe like a VR arcade would be a really cool idea.
I do like that idea a lot, actually.
A DDR VR.
DDR
VR. You play DDR while you have a VR.
That would be crazy, especially. Well, now I could see. I don't know. Like, imagine like you're playing like Dance Dance Revolution, but you're like in like different settings and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
Like I was imagining like the one VR thing I told you about with the Oculus, where like on the demo, like you stand on the edge of that building.
Right.
Imagine DDRing on the edge of that building.
Wow, that would fuck
Like
with a lot of people.
I was like pretty disoriented, just like standing there, like just not really used to it. Like maybe if I was doing it like at home, and I could like I knew where all my stuff was.
DDR in space.
DDR in space.
Yes.
That'd be crazy. Wow. No, I think that idea needs to be worked with a little bit, or like maybe some of the arcades that already exist, getting like at least like 1 or 2 like VR units, and then like paying for like time to be in there or something. I think maybe that Games Place back where we used to live in Indiana, maybe they'll get like some PlayStation VRs in, and they'll probably do that same thing if they're still around.
Are you talking about Second Spin?
No. I'm talking about that place our friends used to go where like you would pay for time, and then you would take games and like go into a room, and there was consoles everywhere.
What the fuck was that place called?
I don't know. That's why I didn't name it.
Fuck. It was across the street from an old porn shop, and then it was next to the newer porn shop.
Yes.
Yes.
And the kids went there.
Yes.
Not the porn shop.
Not the porn shop.
Right.
But it was very easy to get in those porn shops. You just walked in and just pretend like you knew what the fuck you were doing, and the attendant wasn't gonna bother you.
I don't know if that would work for like the 8-year-olds that were at the game place.
Well,
but,
no.
But
Well, we all know the porn shops will benefit from VR.
Oh, of course. Now that's the other thing is that maybe video gaming with VR is going to not go any further than Novelty, but I could definitely see it becoming something of like an aficionados sort of thing to get in regards to porn. You know,
there's already videos out there you can see for free that like if you have like the Google Cardboard or whatever where you put
Google Cardboard.
Googled cardboard.
Yeah. It's like a cardboard VR mask. They've had it for a while.
I've never even heard of this.
And like you slip like your like Samsung phone or whatever into there, and it's got a couple of lenses, and it's like a super cheap way to do VR. And you have like specific like video content that is like 2 screens basically, and then they're fed through the lenses in a way that like it creates the illusion of depth. And then with your phone, it had like sensor of like, you know, to sense like direction and stuff. You could actually like look around and things like that.
Huh.
You could find like not maybe like the two screen version, but you could find like on Facebook, for example, there was a video that like someone shared where like it was like outer space or whatever, right? And
I remember
then like
that.
if you looked
Yeah.
far enough and like to the right or whatever, it was someone like holding like the little like OK sign that you hold down.
Yeah.
Like kids would do that and then they'd hit each other when they look at it.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
Like that's it, like that. It's the same sort of technology, only porn.
Only porn. Well, the thing is that porn drives technology. It really, really, truly does. Porn is what drove the further innovation of the internet, and then better internet, and VR.
Yeah, and also got us to the moon.
It
Porn
did get
got
us
us to the moon.
porn got us to the moon. I mean, Futurama taught me that. Porn helped launch a ball of garbage into outer space
With gusto.
with gusto. So, yeah, but if it doesn't take off with video games much more than this initial hype, it will definitely find plenty of business in the world of porn. That's just the truth of the matter. Like they already have you know, those masturbators, those pocket pussies that you can, you know, basically plug, like have an adapter for like your iPad or some shit, and you can shell out the money for a motorized one that will that comes with a movie, and the sensation you feel will match what's going on in the video. So I mean, those are already a thing, and that's not new. So yeah, I guess VR is just gonna make it even better.
So you're telling me that porn can cure cancer?
Yes, porn can cure cancer. All we have to do is take those little old nice grannies and not take them off their chemo, just sit them in front of a computer and let them watch like 60 hours of porn, and they will be cured.
Or dead?
We are not doctors. just a warning, we are not doctors. Really though, back with gaming, I can see one place that it would actually take off though is if like all the big first-person shooters that come out every year that everyone buys anyway, if they start having like VR functionality like built in, like you have like the game, and then if you have PlayStation VR, Oculus or whatever, there's additional functionality built into the game.
What if you VR someone playing on a game? Like you're watching them play the game from their perspective?
Oh man, that would be kind of like that movie that came out, Hardcore Henry or whatever.
Yeah.
That movie was great.
It'd be kind of like that. Yeah, like you're I could see that happening, but I could see also some people, like Heather, for example, getting like total motion sickness from
Yeah.
that.
It would be the new Twitch.
Okay, yeah.
I could, wait, do you mean like the perspective of a person playing the game, or do you mean like I put on a VR headset and then I see like from your eyes your computer? And
Yes.
you're watching
you're watching me. No.
You're watching through.
You're watching through my eyes while I'm playing a game.
And so like you're looking down at your controller and like I can see.
Yes.
That would be so weird.
That would be weird. That'd be also really great for things like, chat roulette. Who's gonna look at their dick while they're jerking off?
Right? Or I was imagining the like Twitch though, like some girl like on Twitch or whatever, and like you just have like all these young boys like popping onto this Twitch VR channel, being all like, "Hey, look at your boobs. Hey, look at your boobs. Hey, look down. Look down. Can you look down for me? Please look down. Oh my God, look down." Just I could see that.
I could see that happening, and I would totally, if I was one of those girls, I would totally like have a setup where I would have like a drawing of like a big penis and just like kind of drape it over my chest and like look down and be like, "Yep, that's a penis."
I don't know if that would keep you on Twitch for very long. Don't do that on our Twitch channel.
Okay. A dildo then. Whatever. It's not real. I mean,
still not sure if that would really...
get something like transparent and purple and covered in glitter, with balls on it. Nice suction cup,
So anyway, VR. Hopefully, it's more than a novelty, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. It really depends on the industry and how it innovates with it and everything. So it doesn't end up like motion controls where they're just tacked on to normal gaming and all that, and just ruin games that would otherwise be good. So anyway, moving on. So everyone knows next year there's going to be a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. A new one, which kind of Kaiser Neko Scott from Team 4-Star, he called it the Breakfast Chronicle, which I agree. It does look a lot like the Breakfast Club meets Chronicle. We're not talking about that. We're not a movie podcast. It would be a lot easier right now as New York Comic Con just happened if we could talk about movies and comic books and whatnot. But there is another Power Rangers thing coming about called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle. It is a side-scrolling beat-em-up, 4-player, simultaneous, that involves choosing to be any of the original 6 Power Rangers fighting monsters from the show, including like the putties and all that stuff, and monsters from the actual show itself, and having Megazord battles where they're kind of like quick time events where or like first person sort of like shooting events and whatnot, where each person has a different part to play in operating the Megazord.
Okay, see, I was wondering about that when we were watching the video. I was like, "Oh, cool!" And they become the Zord, and it's all like, so who gets to control the Zord?
Right. No, it's like, so like for example, it's kind of like you're going to attack. You have like maybe 4 buttons that pop up, and you have the different colors kind of surrounding the button, like taking up a fourth of it. So like, and when you press your button, like that color like goes away or shows up. I can't remember how it works, but in any case, like everyone has to press it in order to make it work to its fullest capacity. And it's not like simultaneous. Like you're not like, all right, now everybody press X, now everybody press circle, but it's. But that's kind of how it is. And then like from the first person perspective, like you're inside the cockpit and you have to like shoot at stuff, and you have your own reticle and everything, and everyone has their own reticle. And but otherwise the game looks like it would be pretty interesting. It doesn't look like like a full $60 game, but it's coming out in January. What did you guys think? I showed you the trailer earlier.
Yeah, it actually it looks like what I kind of wanted the Super Nintendo game to be. I mean, I remember have you guys played the first Power Rangers game on the Super Nintendo? Like
I have.
Yeah.
I've played a Power Rangers game.
This is the one where like you're running along, and then like halfway through the stage you turn into a Power Ranger, and then like you go through the second half of the stage, and then you fight a monster, and then you don't do like Megazord stuff till like toward the end of the game.
Yeah, I know. I've played a Power Rangers game. It had to have been that one. It had to, because I remember like the first stage, you're like running through like city streets, right? And
Yeah.
Okay, then yes, I've played it.
I only played the Sega version, and the Game Gear version of that.
The Sega version was pretty cool. Like it was the fighting game.
Yeah.
So, but what do you guys think of the of this mega battle?
I'm stoked about the artwork. I love the artwork. The artwork is fantastic.
Yeah, and also, hopefully we can have like 5 or 6 player simultaneous play on screen.
That would be really great
Yeah.
if, I hope it's not online multiplayer only.
I would think in the gameplay video that we've seen so far, with everybody on the same screen at the same time, I would think that, and with only 4 people showing up, that it's probably going to be 4-player, like couch multiplayer. But it would be cool if they did kind of like the X-Men arcade port, where when you go online, you can get up to 6 people playing.
I hope that they have it to where unlockable characters are in the game, like unlock the Green Ranger, yay!
Yay!
Well, like, the Green Ranger was like showing up in like some of the cutscenes and stuff like that, but there's been no sign of him so far in actual gameplay footage.
Secret unlockable character.
Right? Now, one of the things that is interesting about that is actually, even when there are 4 people playing or less, when the Rangers like teleport onto the scene or whatever and they do their pose, it's like all 5 of them, and then the one that doesn't have a player, that one teleports away, and then the others stay and continue to do the fighting and all that stuff. So it's still...
I just have this image of like everyone's teleporting in. All right, guys, let's do this. And whoever that 5th odd man out is like, I have to go shit, guys. I'm sorry. I'll be back.
I volunteered at the youth center today. Hold on.
Right?
I can't save the world. You guys go on without me.
Yeah, it's like that episode where Zach and that girl are watching the movie, but then he has to leave in the middle of the movie to, like fight monsters, and he comes back, and then the girl dumps popcorn on his head.
I vaguely remember that episode.
Yeah.
You know, like the thing is, when Power Rangers hit Netflix, like I watched like a few episodes that I remember. That was not one of them. They were mostly Green Ranger related, but I made sure to not actually just go back and watch. I made sure to actually just not just go back and like just watch through Power Rangers, because I know that my memory of Power Rangers, my nostalgia for it, makes the show out to be much better than it actually was. And I don't want to ruin that.
It sounds like it's a show that you need to watch while eating member berries.
Remember the Green Ranger? Oh yeah, remember Dragon Zord? Oh yeah.
But this game looks like the game I wanted back on the Super Nintendo, but obviously the Super Nintendo could not do 5 players. For Power Rangers, like I wanted, like all my friends come over. Yeah, we can be all the Power Rangers all at the same time, and then we can have like 5 players on screen. But it's the Super Nintendo, it can't do that.
That would be pretty cool. But in any case, which reminds me, there were a few people saying that it did look kind of like the Super Nintendo game. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's really up to you.
Oh yeah, also the Super Nintendo game, you couldn't go up or down. It was just like either left or right, which was kind of weird for me. But this game you can move up and down now.
Right. Yeah. Like I say, it looks like some people were saying it did look like the Super Nintendo game. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's really up to you. Anyway, moving on. Twitch. Everyone here have a Twitch account?
Yay!
I don't know what Twitch is.
We have a Twitch channel. Sometimes we stream on it. Trying to stream on it more. Who here has Amazon Prime? Oh, me.
And so by extension, I do.
Right.
Everyone except me.
Right.
Which makes no sense, Ryan.
Which I should probably get one.
Yes.
So, if you have Amazon Prime, for free, you can join Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime gets you, I swear this is not an advertisement, Twitch Prime gets you 1 free subscription per month, so you can get like ad-free viewing of like one of your favorite channels and, extra little features, icons, and things like that. You can get free games, you can get free things for games. It's actually really cool. If you don't have Amazon Prime, you can get Twitch Prime for $10.99 a month. But if you already have Amazon Prime, go ahead and jump on that. Someone at work actually told me about it, and I went ahead and jumped on that with my regular Twitch account, not the Battle Geek Plus one. So.
Oh, you didn't jump on it with your jumping boots?
No, I didn't jump on it with my jumping boots. I don't have jumping boots.
Why don't you have jumping boots?
Because I only have steel toe boots, and I wear them at work.
Fair enough.
Those really do not help with jumping, trust me. They're like anti-jumping, like when
anti-jumping boots.
Yeah, they're like walking boots. They're boots that were made for walking. and kicking things with my toes and not getting my toes smashed in the process. But yeah, Frank, there was one thing that really piqued your interest for the October freebies on Twitch Prime. There was something from like Warcraft or whatever.
It was an elf.
Obviously, it must not have been that interesting to you. You sounded like it was interesting, but I guess not.
Something.
Yeah, because we were watching that video and it involved an elf, and it looked like a dark elf, I think, and she was like a sorceress or something. Wow, you suck, dude.
What? It must not have gotten my interest.
Oh, well,
It did. You were the only one who said something. You were like, oh,
you're like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, like you were totally into it, and like this is like the second time in a row that like I've been like, oh, there's something I could talk about with Frank in the podcast, and you're all like,
well, what's the name?
That's why
It
we
was
were
an
asking you.
elfish name. I don't know.
That's why we were asking you. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up because what the hell? This thing.
That thing.
Oh,
Tyrande.
Hearthstone. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
play Hearthstone.
No, it's not.
Heroes of Warcraft. It's a Warcraft thing. Dark elf-looking thing. Warcraft.
She is a moon elf.
Moon elf.
Oh, excuse the fuck out of me.
It's Hearthstone, but I don't play that game.
Oh,
But
okay.
you got
I just thought it was
excited about
interesting.
anyway?
Oh,
No,
okay.
I know the character. That's why I'm like,
okay.
oh, I know her. Can't remember her name, but I know her.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, so much for that.
There's also like like a free indie game you can get this month and all kinds of stuff. I don't know. Like apparently Frank's just totally interested in things that he doesn't even play. So, but yeah, Twitch Prime, definitely check that out if you have Amazon Prime already because you can get it for free. And even if you don't pick up any of the free stuff, whatever, at least you get a subscription. And subscriptions are nice because they go towards money for your favorite Twitch channels and whatnot. Anyway, so who here is waiting for Cuphead to come to Xbox and PC?
Me.
I could live without it.
Just Frank, huh? Not just Frank.
Just Ryan.
Just Ryan.
Yeah, just
Is
me.
it- Just Ryan then. Well, Cuphead. I mean, it looks great, but I didn't really think about getting it because I didn't think it would be coming to PC until I found out today that Cuphead is being delayed until next year.
I didn't even know that it was not already out. I thought it had already been released.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was already out there in the world running free and
Right, like we don't have an Xbox, so I didn't really pay close attention.
yeah,
to
I mean that's probably a reason why I didn't pay too close attention to it because it's a system that I despise and don't want in our house. So
You act like it kicked a puppy or something.
it did kick a puppy. It kicked 6 puppies. Okay, 6 of them,
Well,
and they were adorable.
well, let's hope we don't get Mighty Number 9 on this one.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
waiting and
yeah.
waiting and waiting, and then
Yeah.
eventually it's a mediocre product.
Correct, sir.
Well, I played
The
it.
graphics look great. I mean, one of the things that I'm super stoked for this game, even though we don't own a Xbox and
But we
I
can get it
wasn't,
on PC.
we can get it on PC, is that just they did such a good job of nailing the style of cartoons of that era that they're really shooting for, and it just so many good memories of just sitting on the floor with my dad and watching, like old cartoons and shit. So
Yeah, actually, did you guys play it at E3 this year?
no.
No.
Yeah, I was able to play it at E3, but it was kind of buried in like the middle of the Xbox section. You kind of had to look for it. It just
Which is probably why I didn't play it.
yeah.
It was the Xbox section, so that's why I didn't play it.
Okay. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I would think like this is with the rest of 2016. There's a whole bunch of games coming out, so I don't know if I would be able to play Cuphead. But now with it being delayed to 2017, I might have some time to play it.
Right? Yeah.
I love how you map out your game playing. You're like, well, I'll be able to have time to play this in November, and maybe I'll be able to do an hour of that at the end of November. Then on October, I'm gonna be playing this and this.
Well, I had to map things out and whatnot. Like, for example, this month there was Xenoverse 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and the PS4 re-release of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Like that bundle right there, all at once, and it was just kind of like, well, which one am I gonna get then?
Well, it was a
And-
no-brainer.
Well, no, like, as opposed to, like, getting all 3 or whatever, which, luckily, you know, Rise of the Tomb Raider, like, we'd been waiting, like, a year for that to come out, so of course we were gonna get that.
Yes.
But, you know, it's like, well, can I get Batman also, or should I wait on that? You know, I ended up waiting on that. And, well, I don't know whether you consider this a good thing or a bad thing, but the internet hype machine that is Dragon Ball fandom completely burned me out on Xenoverse 2.
Yeah, same.
And it's not even out yet.
Yeah, it's not even out yet. Like, just so much hype and complaining and those, like, clashing on my Twitter feed that just happened, like, so much that I was just like...
Hell, it's bled into my Twitter.
Right.
I mean, I know that I follow a lot of people that you follow and you guys talk Dragon Ball, but I am 98% of the time not involved in those conversations. But, like, it has bled into some of my conversations, and so far everything I have seen has been nothing but complaints, except for, like, maybe, like, 2 people.
Well, it's all like minor stuff too. It's all like, well, the hair doesn't change to stand up when you turn to Super Saiyans. Instead, it just stays the same style and turns gold. It's like whatever. It's a creative character.
Aww,
like,
boo fucking who.
It's a creative character. Don't fucking worry.
I mean, I remember whenever we got to see that, we went in, we got to see that presentation.
Like, I was really excited about it then.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! I didn't even give a fuck about this game, and I was excited. I was super impressed with what they had improved on, because I had seen you play the original Xenoverse, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is cool. But there were some things that were kind of, you know, stop and go, and just didn't seem to work well or flow together very well. And they fixed a lot of those things, or made them better for Xenoverse 2, and I was really impressed. And, but I mean, like I said, I'm not interested in it. I'm still not interested in it. But the fact that you're not interested in it is just kind of like, oh, that's a bummer. Like, I'm sorry, honey, that sucks.
Yeah,
but
it's just,
you know,
my feed being so bombarded with it has just completely burnt me out on it, and I haven't even touched the game yet. Like, that's just... So that helped with narrowing down to, you know, just getting Tomb Raider this month. I mean, I might come back for Xenoverse 2 at some point, but it's not really like I remember before I was all like, man, should I get the collector's edition? And now I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Vegito EX played it, you know, Mike Labrie, he played it, and he's going to talk about it on Kanzenshu. Maybe
good
that's
enough for me.
Yeah. So, you know.
Well, hopefully that's not what happens with Cuphead, with now that being delayed and people, you know, the hype, because there's been a lot of hype behind it, you know, like the hype and maybe the disappointment, the complaints. On the other side, I really hope that this delay is for good reason. I mean, you know, delays typically are. In the article that we looked at, it was saying that, you know, the delay was because they were trying to do basically a crunch to get it out for this year. And they decided that they didn't want to cut away anything from the game, and they wanted to be sure that it was, you know, a full package that they were delivering. So,
which that's definitely a very good reason. So, Cuphead is supposed to be coming out, no definitive date yet, but the middle of next year, 2017. So definitely keep up with the news on that.
And we're pretty sure it's not going to be Cuphead number 9.
Cuphead number 9. Yikes.
yeah, that would be awful.
So, and lastly, before we get out of here today, there have been a little bit more details surfaced regarding the NES Mini, which I know we've talked about many times.
Oh, ha 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 ha.
I was enunciating, not making a pun.
Oh, sorry, I misheard you. My bad.
So, you I tried hard to make it many. Anyway, so the NES Mini, which we've talked about a bunch, is there's another feature that has come to light in that the NES Mini will feature QR codes that you can scan with your phone in order to get digital versions of the original instruction manuals for those games.
Ooh.
Which is awesome. I mean, everybody loves instruction manuals.
Like, I'm surprised that they're not, like, built into, like, the console already itself. Like, if you play, like, on the Wii or the Wii U, you can actually access the instruction manual.
Right.
Yeah, but the problem is, you know, with with the controller, you're most likely going to have to access manuals from an option menu, and because the controller doesn't have like a home menu or anything.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
point.
that is a good point. Yeah. But yeah, I really like the idea of having, digital copies of the instruction manuals. And I know for a fact that our good old buddy Joe, he's going to be stoked.
Right.
Because he scans everything.
He does. He scans, and he's always posting them. He's gotten to the point that he's actually started another Twitter account just to talk about games and stuff like that. It's called Video Game Art and Tidbits. It's on Twitter at VGArt and Tidbits. And he's got a lot of really cool stuff from like retro games and everything like that. The account's really picked up. It's all really high resolution stuff too. So you should take a look at that. Amazing quality. Lots of funny stuff too from like bad games and everything. So definitely take a look at that. Another thing that was brought up was, which I don't really consider this like a feature or like news or anything like that, but one thing that was brought up was that the NES Mini, the controller that it comes with and like the controllers you can buy for it, the cable that connects it to the console itself is actually rather short, which I thought this was kind of a no-brainer considering that they were intended to also be plugged into Wii remotes, that they would probably be about the length of a cord on like a classic controller or like a pro controller or something like that. Like I don't really understand what the big problem is, unless for some reason Nintendo packages this thing with like a 3-foot long HDMI cable and you're just like plugging your television while you're playing it.
Yeah, well, judging by the size of the box, it's probably going to be a short HDMI cable.
Like that's actually kind of sad, but I'd like to think that maybe they would at least give like a good like 15-foot HDMI cable or something like that, but it's just like really cheap, like like it's a cable that you would get for like $5 anywhere else.
Yeah.
I kind of got this really weird feeling that because of how short the cable was for the controller, that they were gonna like have some adapters of some sort. You just like plug an adapter into your TV and just basically wirelessly connect the mini NES, to your TV, and you just like set it in your lap and play like that. Like I don't know. That was just like, with how short the controller is, it just seems a little odd.
That sounded like you just like took a bunch of NX rumors and just like applied them.
I know. That's exactly what it sounds like.
You heard it here first. NES Mini is the NX. Confirmed.
Gasp!
Turns out Breath of the Wild is going to be an 8-bit game.
I'd still play it.
Yeah, I'd still play that.
That would be a rather large 8-bit game. It'd be like a huge 8-bit game. Like, imagine that.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. I don't even know how some of those features would work. So.
Bigly?
What?
Bigly?
Bigly?
I don't know. Words.
Right? So, I don't know. I've still got bookmarks for the NES Mini and the Famicom Mini sitting on my browser.
I also heard the Famicom Mini's controller wires are going to be really short too.
Yeah, the controllers are really small also because like.
Oh my god, it's so
dock to the
tiny!
side.
I cannot wait to watch you play a game on it with those tiny little controllers and your big ass hands. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna laugh my ass off for days, and it'll be amazing.
I really don't think it's gonna be that much different than watching me play like on a Game Boy Advance SP or something like that. Like that thing's pretty small.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. But now I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah, our pal Joe, like he actually saw the Famicom Mini at New York Comic Con.
I saw that picture.
Yeah, like he was like, oh my god, my large gorilla hands, are way too big for the Famicom Mini
god.
controllers.
It's gonna be. I'm so excited just for that aspect, just to sit. Like you're gonna order it. It's gonna show up, and I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna watch you unbox it, and you're gonna hook it up. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna watch you try and play something, and I'm gonna just laugh. It's gonna be great.
I think it's gonna be adorable and fun. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to get too into the games though, because like yanking the entire Famicom Mini around, like that'd be crazy. So, but yeah, I've still got bookmarks for those set up for Amazon, waiting for pre-orders to happen. And hasn't quite happened yet, but we'll see if I end up grabbing either one of them. Right now, though, it's still one of those things I'm just all like, do I have enough room on the credit card to get both?
Ugh.
Plus importing fees?
Ugh.
So we'll see how actually excited I am and how much money I might actually have by the time that happens. So anyway, that's really all we have in terms of topics for today. If you want, you can catch us on Twitch at twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus. You can see highlights, you can see past broadcasts, and hopefully you can catch one of us online playing games. You can find any of the four of us on that channel, or maybe sometimes you might even find more than one of us. Usually while one of us is trying to play and the other one's like making noise or something. You can also find us on BattleGeekPlus.com. That takes you straight to our YouTube channel where you can see all of our old content. You can see segments from our Twitch playthroughs, and you can see, or listen to rather, all of our past prodcasts. Prodcasts, where we prod you. You can see all of our past podcasts, or rather, listen to them. You can also grab those on iTunes or whatever favorite RSS thingy you like to get for all of your podcasting needs. And Ryan, what other shows do we have on the Battle Geek Plus YouTube channel?
Yeah, we do Awesome Video Game Memories, where we reminisce about video games, and we also have Battle Geek Plus Arcade Edition, where we go to actual arcades and play games.
So yeah, definitely good to go. We're going to start going with more live content.
She broke first.
Sorry.
She broke first.
We were just staring at one another and it just got funny. I'm sorry. Continue.
Combo breaker.
So yeah, plenty of shows for you to watch, and we're going to have even more live content on Twitch as we sort of get it down and get better at it. So anyway, my name is Josh. With me, as always, Heather.
Bye.
Ryan.
Bye.
And Final Fantasy.
Join us on an exciting episode of Battle Geek Plus.